What's going on, guys? Joey Franzo here with Flex Training Systems, and today want to let you guys know a couple things. First off, new podcast going up probably today or tomorrow. It's Thursday, August 3rd, so stay tuned for that. So that'll be episode number 3. Number 4 is already recorded. Number 5 is in the works. So we're keeping that ball rolling along. Make sure to subscribe to get all the juicy podcast goodness. Anyway, on to the topic at hand. So as of late, you guys that have been following me along have known that I've been dieting for a little bit. For those that don't know, the morning that I woke up at the Arnold, I was 254 pounds. Holy fuck, that's fat, right? For me, at least. For me, I felt fat as shit. The last couple weeks, on my lower days, I've been waking up 231, 232, 230, hovering somewhere in there, depending. Currently, I'm doing 2 or 3 low days, or 2 or 3 high carb days, and then I have, 4 or 5 lower food days, depending on how I'm feeling, and what phase of training I'm in. And something that comes along with dieting, and especially for us powerlifters, and this is something that I've definitely struggled with in the past, is just kind of dealing with strength, the inevitable strength loss, temporary strength loss that it might be temporary depending on how far you push it. But whenever you do diet, you need to accept that you're going to lose some strength. But if the goal at the time is to lose weight, then you need to just accept that and stick to the plan and get your weight down. So what I did was, after the Arnold, I gave myself like a week or two to kind of just train and get in shape or decent, and then I said, all right, it's time to start dropping. So I started dieting, and my strength did take a hit in the beginning. Not right off the bat, but as I got further into it. But the scale was going down, so that was very motivating. And then I got to around, once I started getting into the 230s, then I started to hit like some plateaus, so I had to make little tweaks here and there to keep it going. And, now I'm basically at weight for my next meet. My squats come back up. My deadlift is better than it's ever been. There's a lot of things that go into the to my deadlift specifically. Part of that is just the dropping the deadlift frequency, which can kind of help me survive the diet. If you're dieting too hard and you're pushing training really hard, that's how you get hurt. That was one of my main concerns, was getting hurt. Luckily, I didn't get hurt. It's almost like I lost a free 20 pounds, and all I had to do was track my food. I still got to eat out. I did not ever have to tell my girlfriend, like, hey, I don't want to eat out tonight or whatever. I just made smart choices. Drink a lot of water. And, so now the 20-something pounds, 23 pounds are off, whatever. And I'm feeling good. I can hold it here now and train for nationals. And I'm good to go. And, in the past, I will start losing strength and immediately be like, oh, I have a meet coming up. I don't want to have a bad meet. So then, like, maybe I would eat a little bit more because I was paranoid that I wouldn't perform. And that probably would have happened, and does definitely happen whenever you diet into meets. I've done it before, and it's really shitty. Your strength definitely takes a hit. You have to lower all your expectations. But when you give yourself plenty of time to kind of drop the weight class and then, hold or eat into the meet, you do a lot better. Part of what is inspiring this entire video is my buddy Brian Miner. For those of you that don't know, Brian has a pretty good formal background in something related to fitness. He also is a pro natural bodybuilder. And he's a pretty good powerlifter. He's done the Arnold 3 times. So, that's definitely pretty cool to say that he's done that. And right now he's getting ready for a bodybuilding show. And he just recently competed. And I had someone message me say, damn, like, look how much strength he lost. For those of you that don't know, he competed, he was around 210 pounds. He competed as a 93, historically, and I think his best numbers that I can recall are like a 551 squat, close to a 400 bench, 402, 396, something like that. And I don't think he's ever done it, but I know he's capable of 650 ish, somewhere around there. And at the meet, he dropped his weight. He's down. He weighed in at 177 pounds. Granted, he's like 5'10". That's insane, but he's a good bodybuilder, and especially the top natural bodybuilders, you got to get fucking shredded. Like, literally 99% of people, they don't know what shredded is. They think they're lean. I'm telling you, go look at Alberto Nunez. Go look at these guys winning these natty shows. They're fucking shredded. You got to get, like, you have to die basically. And he's looking really lean right now, Brian. He's looking super lean right now. And, I think at his meet he hit 490 squat, only a 340, maybe a 336 bench. So he lost a lot on his bench. He lost 60 pounds on his squat. And I think he had a pretty decent pull. He didn't lose too much on the pull. I mean, part of his bench going down is, he's got a shoulder injury he's dealing with. And remember, anytime that you're dropping back on volume and you're dieting, you're not giving your body a reason to hold on to that muscle if there's no response there. If there's no, hey, like, you're not training bench, so we're just going to go ahead and use it as energy, as those muscles as energy for this diet that you're dealing with. So that could be happening too. But he took a big hit to his strength. And somebody messaged me like, damn, he lost all that strength. I could never do that. And I just wanted to highlight with this video, the kudos to you, Brian, for sticking to the goal. He looks fucking lean right now, and I know he's going to keep going. He might lose another 5 pounds, and he's already ridiculously lean. And, props to him for sticking to the plan, saying, the goal is to compete in bodybuilding, and the reason he's competing as an 83 is so that he can do nationals. Should he choose to do it in that weight class. But he's sticking to the plan. He is, he knows he's going to lose strength, but the priority is dropping down, and you have to just commit to that goal. It doesn't only apply to dieting. It can also apply to, like, let's say you say, I'm going to train hook grip and I'm going to pull sumo, and you were historically conventional with a mixed grip, or, used to squat in heels and now you're going to change to flats or whatever. If you're going to do that, you have to commit to the goal. You absolutely have to commit to the goal. You cannot, do it for a week and then say, I don't like it, and go back. It's like, if this is what you want, if this is something you want to commit to, and you've decided that, then you got to ride it out. It's going to suck in the beginning. But I think it just goes, with many things in life. It depends what you want. Maybe you might be like me back in 2012, when I was actually getting ready to do, I was like, I want to compete in bodybuilding. I have good legs, I have a good back, I have a decent amount of strength and size. I want to compete. It was kind of like when natural bodybuilding was really, I think it was a little bit more popular than it is now. I could be wrong, that's not really my scene, but I started dieting, and I lost a bunch of weight, and I competed for fun in a powerlifting meet, and I benched 380, and it was pretty easy at like 190 something pounds. And my coach at the time, shout out to Tyler Mayer in Arizona, we go way back, obviously. Although we haven't talked in a while. I hope you're doing well. If you ever hear this, probably won't. Um, he was like, "Hey, dude, you're pretty strong. You should, you know, compete." And all right, let me do this powerlifting thing. So we did the meet, and I did good. And I was like, damn, this is really fun. I want to do another meet now. And I realized, one, I didn't like dieting. I cared about being stronger more than I cared about getting lean. So it wasn't for me. It wasn't something that I wanted to do. I didn't want to deal with, what happens when you get super, super lean. And I really enjoyed my time competing in powerlifting. And I'm glad that I did. If I hadn't just decided to do a fun meet, then I probably wouldn't be where I am right now. So I'm very thankful for that. And maybe, dieting is a hard thing. And whenever you're changing something up, could be harder than anticipated, and that might help you realize what you really want. So, for those of you who say, I want to do this, I want to do that, shout out to my man Russell. He made it was a brief caption, and it could have been a picture or him actually lifting, I don't remember, but he was just saying how, like, basically in summary, what I took for it is, if you want to achieve something great, you might have to be imbalanced at times. Absolutely. I especially get that. If you want to be the best powerlifter, you absolutely can. You might need to be extreme. If you want to be the best bodybuilder, you absolutely can. You're going to definitely have to be extreme. But there are ways to make progress in any which way. Given what you're willing to give up and what you're willing to sacrifice. And, you might not get that 100% that you could have gotten, but you'll get like 80-85%, and you might be cool with that, and that's okay. We all have different wants. It's about what you want as a person. But when you do commit and you do have a goal, I mean, my man Alberto Nunez says this all the time: keep the goal. Just whatever the goal is, keep that as the goal, and fucking ride it out and achieve what you set out to achieve. And then, if you say, I want to compete at Raw Nationals, and in order to do that, I maybe need to drop a little weight and hit this Wilks, then do that. Focus on that. And then when you do that, then the next goal can be, okay, now that I have qualified for Nationals, I want to do well at Nationals. And in order to do that, I need to do X, Y, Z. Boom. So kind of like a common sense type of video, but I think it's just a little reminder to remind you to, whatever your plan is, if it's hard, if it's something that's going to get harder the longer you do it, you got to stick to it, because, I mean, I like the dieting and strength example, because you're literally pulling your body in two different directions, and you're not really going to gain ground on anything unless you, focus on one goal. And when you do get deeper into it, so like I pretty much held on to a lot of my strength, and I lost 20-something pounds, but I had a lot of fat on me. If I tried to do it again, I promise you I'm going to lose, pounds on my bench and squat, and there's probably nothing I can do about it. I start to run into mobility issues. I become too mobile. Like, literally, I squat too deep, and my bench, it sinks more, so I'm straining my shoulders more. And I've been big for so long that my shoulders have gotten tight, so I just can't move them back that far. And, it's a common thing, but just whatever the goal is. So, like, right now, my goal was to drop the weight. I dropped the weight. Now my goal is to compete at Nationals as a 105 with a nice and easy cut. I could even cut to 220 if I really wanted to. I'm not sure if I'll do that, but I have that option now. Maybe go for a big Wilks PR. Who knows? I'm sure I'll be lighter just from running around handling people during the weekend. But anyway, thank you guys so much for listening, and I'll talk to you in the next one.